So Mike, you're a veteran. You own a brewery in Boynton Beach. That's undoubtedly one of the most popular breweries in Palm Beach County. And you have some big news, right?
We do, yeah. Unfortunately, we're closing our doors later this year.
And that has to be a hard sentence to say.
It is. We've been doing this for 10 years. And, you never really, as you're going along, you're paying so much attention to sort of day to day that you never really think much about how it's going to end. And, between the challenges that we've had with the pandemic and the situation with our building lease, we're not able to continue.
Was the lease just going up in price significantly?
Significantly, yes. We were already paying what we thought was a good bit, and I guess we're being told by the people that own the building that the market rate is much higher than what we're paying, and our industry, at least my part of our industry, it's barely supporting what we're currently paying, and so we just can't go in that direction, and I don't want to put us in a position to fail.
With all the people moving to South Florida because of the result of the pandemic, it's driving real estate markets up. Do you think that's partially to blame for that?
Maybe. I guess I can't really speak to the real estate market because I'm so focused on the beer market. But if that's the case, then I could certainly see that. I think we live in paradise, so I could see a lot of other people thinking the same thing.
You guys also mentioned in your statement that you're selling your brand. What do you hope it's worth?
Well, we don't really know because this is something that's really new to us, and we're trying to sort that out. The idea is that even though the tap room is closing and our facility won't be operational, we have over the last 10 years built these wonderful brands that people really like Caramel Cream Ale and Cat 3 and all that stuff. And so we don't want those to go away, even if we're not actively producing them. That when somebody sits down and they see that Caramel Cream Ale handle and they think, great, now I get to drink that beer. We want them to continue to experience that, even if it doesn't directly have something to do with us. We'd really rather Due South not die out, even though, we're kind of in a position that we're in.
So your wife, Jody, and you obviously had a conversation about finances and all the people you employ. And when you're making that big decision, what was that moment like?
Honestly, we didn't really see it as much of a decision. When we found out what we were being expected to pay, we knew right then and there that wasn't going to happen. We just simply didn't have the money. And so we, there was a little bit of back and forth with negotiation that didn't go very far. So we don't feel like we're choosing to close down Due South as much as this is something that's necessary. And so therefore, this is what we're going to do. We weren't even in the neighborhood of a number that we could have possibly paid. And, if I would have decided that we were going to go ahead and do it, I'm guessing my accountant would have said, you probably shouldn't.
Just asking obvious questions. Was there thought to relocating somewhere else?
It's a consideration, extremely risky given the sort of the climate right now. We're going through what we're going through, and it's an unfortunate situation, but all the bars and restaurants are going through this. It's not something that's isolated to us. So if we were to pick up and go somewhere else, we could potentially be putting ourselves in a tough position, because obviously with the size of our operation, it's expensive to move all of that stuff, and it would be difficult to find another place. And if in fact the building that we're in is unaffordable, I don't know what the odds that the one next door is affordable either.
All these people you employ, how did you had to have those conversations with them? Obviously that must have sucked.
Absolutely. We've got we've got a fantastic team. We've got people that have been here 4, 5, 6, 7 years with us that do a tremendous job every day. And that is the one thing that my wife and I had a conversation about was, Due South is a concern. The community that has supported us so much is a concern, but the big thing is our people, because they've done so much for us. And like I told them yesterday when we all got together and had the conversation, we'll certainly do everything we can for them in order to help them get past this, because it's not about us. It's about the 25 people that work much harder than me every day and get out there and do this stuff. And we want to take care of them as much as we can.
You mentioned also in your statement that the coronavirus pandemic really hurt your business. Can you articulate what happened during that period?
Well, it was something that if you would have asked me a couple of years ago, it would have been the last thing I would have ever seen coming. I don't, and I'm sure everybody feels that way, but when it kind of showed up and we thought, well, what is this? And then all of a sudden the government shut down our business for weeks. Then we started, of course, that was a really difficult time because we had to get our business through it. We had to get our employees through it. We didn't know what was on the other side. And so when we finally opened back up, obviously everybody was reluctant because of the pandemic to come in. And so we sell about 80% of our beer to other businesses to resell. And those businesses weren't selling beer. So therefore I wasn't selling beer to be sold to them. And the next thing we knew, when we were trying to get back on our feet, they shut us down again. And then after the second shutdown, we were really, we were getting kind of freaked out as far as what was going to go on after that. Now we were fortunate in that we were able to pay our rent every month and take care of our bills. My wife and I, all of our people took a pay cut for a while. We finally got back on our feet, and there's a different on your feet now, I guess, because it's not our numbers aren't back to what they were 4 or 5 years ago. We're still struggling just like the other folks in our industry are struggling. And I don't know what the end is. I don't know when it's going to get better. The information coming out of our industry is a lot of this demographic has stopped going to restaurants and bars. The on-premise consumption is down amongst this demographic. There's really not anything saying, if we felt like in a couple of months we could come out of this, then we might try to suck it up and see what we could do. But there's no indication that this is going away anytime soon. And I just I can't put us in a position to where we could lose everything. We go out now, we can go out. I mean, the folks in the community have been incredibly supportive since we put the news out yesterday afternoon. If we go out now, we can all go out on our terms. We can try to make those people as happy as we can. And we're not going out losing everything that we have and being, some sad story that it's just really unfortunate. It's a shame just because of our whole situation. But at the end of the day, if we can keep Due South out there and people can keep drinking it, that's the important thing. And of course, take care of our people. We want the transition for all of our employees going to other business and pursuing other things. We want to try to help them with that as much as we can.
Well, you guys are truly a hidden gem. You brew with local vendors like honey makers and whatnot, and you will definitely be missed. And our thoughts and prayers to you and your wife and your team. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate you and everything you've done.
Thank you so much. And we're still here. Until December 19th. So we hope we get you to stop by so we can have a beer during that time.
We will do that for sure.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.